Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel where today I'm doing a smoky eye. This is a deep dark purple smoky eye. I really like a dark smoky eye and I have tried multiple different techniques to get one to work for me. I may have found it. Today I'm recreating something that I saw Angelica Nyqvist do. She didn't use these colors, but it's the same technique that I saw her do, and this might work for me. So if you want to see what I did and how I did it, don't go anywhere. And if you've never been here before, hello, my name is Rachel. I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I love to play with color. I love to play with eyeshadow. I love to combine the two into multiple videos every week talking about eyeshadow and eyeshadow related things. I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss new uploads. And without further ado, let's get going with this video. So I'm going to start today's look not using my Glamlight Icing Primer, but instead I'm going to use this MAC primer that my sister gave me. It's called MAC Prep and Prime 24-Hour Extend Eye Base. My sister, I'll card above the video for you where she had given me a custom MAC eyeshadow palette, and included in the packaging were various freebies. So this was one of the freebies and I thought it'd be fun to try because I always use the Glamlight primer, and I have this one, so let's give it a whirl. So this one comes with a much larger opening. I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand, I think, because I'm not sure how much I'm gonna need. And with the Glamlight primer, oh my goodness, I'm just chucking stuff left and right. With the Glamlight primer, I usually just apply it right to my eyelid, which maybe you're not technically supposed to do, I don't know. So I've got this thick brush and the primer on my hand, and I'm just gonna see how much I need. My family and I are going to a concert tonight, a symphony concert. I don't know if you guys have noticed, there are like 3 shorts on my YouTube channel, and in one of them I'm singing while applying my eyeshadow because I love to sing, and I thought, hey, it'd be fun to combine these two interests and see if I can make something work. It didn't work out great. Not only was the eyeshadow look pretty mediocre, but my singing wasn't great either because I was concentrating on eyeshadow and not moving my mouth too much while I applied my eyeshadow. And when I was singing the song, I kept inadvertently modulating up to the next key, and it just wasn't great. But anyway, I do love to sing. And recently I took place in a competition. I mean, months ago we had to submit video auditions. If you made it to the next round, you would go for an in-person callback audition. And I made it to the next round, so the in-person callback auditions were sometime in the middle of November. Before I talk more, I do want to tell you guys what palettes I'm going to be using today. I've got the Still Pretty palette from September Rose, which I've been wanting to use again. I haven't used it in a little while. And I have, this is new to me, you guys don't know about it yet, this is the Midnight palette from Beauty Bay. Now, you might be going, Rachel, you're constantly talking about how you don't use dark blue and purple eyeshadows. And that's true. However, believe me, I went back and forth for a while as to whether or not I wanted to grab this palette because blue and purple are one of my favorite color combinations to use. On my own skin undertones, which are blue, I have to be very careful about which shades of blues and purples I use and which depths I place where. If I do something that's the wrong shade and cover my whole lid space in it, it's gonna be a bad thing. It'll make me look really tired and weary. And so when I looked at this palette, I was like, okay, I know myself well enough to know I love the color combination, but I tend towards the slightly lighter tones of blues and purples, and then it's amazing. And as far as shimmers go, I like mid to light tone shimmers. So in this palette we have one really deep purple and one really deep blue. All of the shimmers are mid to light tone. There's no super black based blue or purple shimmer in this palette. And then we have a black matte, which is amazing because I use black mattes. And so I thought that this palette is actually a really good option for me who loves blue and purple but doesn't want to go too deep and smoky to get the color combination I want without the danger of wasting money on shadows I won't use. So I want to do a purple smoky eye today actually, and I want to try a new technique that I saw Angelica Nyqvist do because I really want to play with this shimmery purple right here, and that would go on top of, I don't know. I have a plan. We'll see how it goes. So the way that Angelica did her smoky eye was different from something I had tried before, with slight variation, but I'm going to try it today and see how it works for me. If I like it, then I'll do a video where I talk a little bit more in depth about it. But I am taking a dense blending brush from e.l.f. This is a blending eye brush, and it's slightly pinched on one side, so it's kind of crescent shaped. And I'm going to go into the shade Voodoo, which I believe is from the Book of Magic palette originally, which of course is discontinued. And I'm going to place this shade in a circular shape in my crease. Anyway, back to the audition. So I got a callback audition, and I was excited about the callback audition because it had probably been 10 years since I actually auditioned for anything. There were things I had done, like singing in a band when the main person was not available, or singing at church, weddings and funerals and things like that. I had certainly done stuff over the years, but I hadn't actually auditioned for something in at least a decade, honestly. I can't think of, no, because even the last time I was in a chorus, like a choir, that was when my oldest child was a baby. So maybe 8 to 10 years, it's been a while. I really didn't think that I would make it through to the next audition round, but the reason I did it was because I wanted to challenge myself, like give myself something to work towards, force myself to warm up my voice every day and practice every day, because I knew that that alone would be good for me, regardless of how far I made it in the audition process. Now with a pinched and fluffier blending brush, also smaller, I'm gonna take the shade, Catch, and I'm gonna use this to buff out this dark color here. So I'm just putting it on the edge of the darker one and softening it. Anyway, at the callback auditions, they were gonna have an accompanist at the audition. And let me give you a bit of framework here. The audition was to perform with a symphony orchestra. So the way it works was a couple rounds of auditions, and then the finalists were all selected, and they got to perform with the symphony in the spring concert. And when they perform, that was their final audition, and then the audience gets to choose an audience favorite, and the director and conductor, they get to choose who they think should win. So there might actually be 2 winners to the competition, but the final itself is a performance with the symphony. And I was thinking, shoot, if you get that far, like that's the reward right there. Who cares about winning the competition? You got to perform with a symphony. That's awesome. So anyway, for the audition, I had selected a piece of music and I went online and bought the sheet music for it, and I was working on it, but I just wasn't feeling it, you know, it just didn't quite feel right. So I changed my mind like 3 days before the audition and got sheet music for a different song. And that's the one that I brought to the audition to, to present to them. So I walk in and I handed the pianist my music, and I got to meet the orchestra conductor and director. And then they have some Broadway star who is going to be performing in the concert as well in the springtime. And I got to meet him because he was part of the audition process as well. And this was all very cool. So I did my song. I thought I did pretty well. I mean, considering I haven't auditioned for anything in ages and I'm pretty pregnant and you know, pregnancy seriously affects your breath control. So that was definitely a challenge. And we actually ended up talking about that in the audition. They're like, when do you do? And I said, oh, I'm due the end of February. And the, I think it was the pianist who asked, have you noticed it's harder to breathe when you're singing? And I'm like, yes. Yes, it's hard to breathe when I'm sitting down. It's really hard to breathe when you're trying to control your breath and your sound is floating on your air, and your diaphragm is supposed to uphold the air in your lungs and let you meter it out properly, but you can't do that because there's a baby in the way. You have almost no diaphragm control. So it was just, yeah, it was fun. It was so much fun to just be in a room with other musicians talking about music and singing for them, and it was so much fun. And when I was there, I was able to hear about 5 people who were in line ahead of me, and everybody did a good job. One woman was really good, and I found out through hearing her conversation that she is like a music director at a local school or something. So she did a really good job, unsurprisingly. They had 2 days of slots to fill up for the callbacks, and I was one of the earlier slots on the first day, and so I figured if the 4 or 5 people that I heard were pretty good, I probably don't have much of a chance. All right, I think that blend is looking pretty good. Honestly, I'm thinking that the primer, because I'm not used to the primer, but I am used to this brand of shadows, the primer is making the shadows stick a little bit differently than I'm used to, and I'm having a tiny bit of trouble blending the dark into the light. Again, I'm more used to the Beauty Bay shadows, so I'm pretty comfortable with how they perform. I don't know. I look forward to playing with this palette with my Glam Light primer to see if there's really a difference in the performance, or maybe if it's the shadows, because these are difficult colors to formulate, but Beauty Bay does a great job with their super dark blues and purples and stuff. I'm taking a dense blending brush now and taking the shade Hex, which is the black matte, and I'm going to go in kind of lightly. I can always add more, but black is a pretty serious color. And I'm covering the lid space that's not got any purple on it, and also I'll just kind of work it up into the shade a little bit. Anyway, so I left the audition and I was thinking, you know, that went pretty well, all things considered. Considering I'm like 25 weeks pregnant and breath control is a thing. And it's been so long since I auditioned for anything. It's been so long since I had to hand my sheet music to an accompanist and work with them on the fly to make good sounding music. And it was a great experience and I had so much fun. And I thought it was good because I think I did the best that I'm able to do for where I am in life right now. Given all of my circumstances and everything that led up to it, yeah, I was happy with my audition. This is looking good. I'm gonna take a fluffy and kind of fanned out blending brush and dip back into the shade Catch and run this on my whole lower lash line. This is light enough that I can put it on my entire lower lash line and it's not gonna draw my face in too much, you know what I mean? I don't like to put mid-toned or darker shades from my inner corner till about here. I don't like to do that because I feel like it closes in my face. Even with a smoky eye like this one, I'm putting a light shadow at the inner corner and out to about here. And I'll deepen it from here, but I don't like to go too dark because of how visually affects the shape of my face. Then I'll take a smudger brush and go back into the dark purple, Voodoo. Yeah, just Voodoo, I think. I don't think I'll put black on the lower lash line. And I'll put this in the outer corner, the outer third or so. So we were told that the finalists would be announced at the first Christmas concert of the season, which, as I'm filming, is tonight. And everybody who auditioned was given a staff discount code to buy very affordable symphony tickets, because they usually start around $40 and go up to like $70, depending on where you sit. And they said, well, with this code, you can pay $5 for a ticket anywhere in the auditorium, which is pretty awesome, right? So I jumped on that opportunity. I'm like, $5 symphony tickets? Yes, please. And so that is the concert that we're going to tonight. Not only do I get the delightful experience of going to a symphony, and I mean, that's exciting, but I also get to find out if I'm one of the finalists. I'm gonna take a small blending brush and grab the shade Tranquil, which is this light, Cattleya sort of matte, and I'm gonna put this right in my inner corner. Okay, so finally, let's not forget the Still Pretty palette, because I almost did. I want to take the shade Sweet Pea, which is a shimmery, I don't know, reddish, blackish, purplish sort of color, and I'm gonna put that on the lid space. Now, I'm a little frightened by this now because I don't know how it's gonna look, but I really wanted to use this shade. I've got a flat brush and I'm gonna dip into it gently because I don't wanna add a ton of sparkle. Right now, the look is all matte and I'm thinking it looks really good, and I don't wanna add a lot of shimmer. I just wanna add a little bit, just add a hint of glimmer. So I'm taking that on this brush and I will spray the brush after it's loaded. I'm gonna take that shade and I'm gonna put it on top of the lid space. So it's adding in a little bit of a purpley reddish kind of sparkle, but it's not bringing in the height of metallic shine that a Glam Light or Beauty Bay shimmer would, which is why I'm using this and not one from the Midnight palette, because I don't want that much shine. I want it to be definitely smoky with just a little peak of sparkle. All right, that's looking kind of cool, right? I like that. Okay, I'm going to go off camera and choose a waterline color, catch the other side up, finish everything I need to finish, and I'll be back in just a few seconds for you guys to show you how it looks. All right, guys, here's how it turned out. Before I forget, my daughter helpfully pointed out to me that I was only wearing one earring for the entire video. I came downstairs with 2 hoop earrings, and I don't know where I lost one of them. They fall out really easily, and I think, hello, my dog. I think it was when I was moving over a pile of laundry. I think I probably lost the earring there. So anyway, sorry about that. Maybe I'll find it later. I'll probably just put in a different pair of earrings. Anyway, to finish off the eye look, go lay down. No, go lay down. To finish off the eye look, I used 2 colors. I used white in the waterline, and then I used black just to line the upper lashes, but I didn't wing them out. On my lips, I'm wearing the shade Devil's Food Cake from NYX Butter Gloss, and I have a little bit of this Milani blush on as well, and a little bit of the BH Cosmetics Frose highlighter on as well to finish everything off. Let me tell you, I I think that I may have found my smoky eye technique because I'm thinking that this is looking really good. I'll probably make a different video where I talk about the different smoky eye techniques that I've tried and why this one seems to yield a better result, but I think it's really lovely and I'm just really enjoying it. I hope you guys like the video. I hope you like the look. I'll let you know what the answer is as far as whether or not I'm a finalist, and until I see you in my next video, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!